Welcome to Toffee TV. Here is my three things. Everton 1, Leeds United 0. The Blues have got a huge 3 points today in their battle for survival. It's another clean sheet, which I'm sure will delight Sean Dyche. It wasn't a great performance by Everton today. I couldn't sit here and say any different. In fact, to be honest, it looked like two poor Premier League teams today. But Everton were the better of the two and should have really won the game by more goals. Leeds were no real threat at all today, if I'm being honest. Didn't even have an attempt on target, and they look like they're in trouble. But Everton are still obviously massively in trouble ourselves as well, as a few other teams are. First thing I'm going to talk about is our centre-forward position. Obviously, Dominic Calvert-Lewin not available today. Everton trying the very best to get to the bottom of what's been causing them all of these issues. It hasn't been one. Hamstring's the latest. Dyche has talked about mattresses and cars and type of bed he sleeps in and diet and all of this. They have got to get to the bottom of it. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, a fit Dominic Calvert-Lewin, is somebody who could actually keep Everton up in the Premier League because he is a threat. I think he'd have got on the end of the balls that are whacked across the 6-yard box today. But he's a focal point for us. He keeps the ball well. He wins things in the air. And he's a real threat. And Everton have to get to the bottom of that. Today, the manager chose Neil Maupay. Obviously picked Ellis Sims against Liverpool, and that didn't really work. He's gone with Maupay today. I don't really think that worked. I think for Neil Maupay, I'm just not sure what type of striker he is. He's not a penalty box striker. We saw it today. The two that got fired across the 6-yard box in the first half. There's one in the second half as well. Whether it's Dwight McNeil might have been. He should have been in those areas ready for tap-ins, and he's not. He's outside of the dangerous areas. He's not quick. He's not particularly. He's not a dribbler, and he doesn't keep the ball. Doesn't look really strong. He's a second striker. He needs a target man to play with, and we're not going to play that right now. And then obviously there's the rawness of that. Even a word? The rawness? No. Probably not a word, but we've got the rawness, that's more like it, of Ellis Sims. And maybe the thing with Ellis Sims is he's a bit more of a handful. Okay, he's not someone a big target man who wins headers, although he did win a couple today. He's a fella, I haven't watched him for the 21s, and it's a different ball game, a totally different ball game, but he knows where the net is. He's done that and carried that on in League One. He carried it on in the Scottish Premier League with Hearts. He's carried it on in the Championship with Sunderland. The lad knows how to put the ball in the net. And Everton, I guess the challenge for Sean Dyche and Ian Woan and Steve Stone and others is to get him more involved off the ball, get him working harder off the ball, and then create chances for him. We had one today where if Dwight McNeil just picks his head up and plays a forward pass through a big gap, Sims is one-on-one, and he might just dink that in and kill the game, near the end, and get him off the mark and give us the breathing space we need. And it didn't happen. We're not creating opportunities for him to miss. But for me, right now, he seems like the more natural fit, and it might have to be until Dom's fully fit that we just persevere with him, and that we do the hard yards with him right now, which is go through this period where he is raw. He's learning on the job. It's difficult. It's the Premier League, the toughest league in terms of physicality and power and pace to learn. But we just look so much better when he come on. Now, people might turn around and say, well, Maupay had done a lot of the other stuff and Sims came on fresh. And there might be something in that, but I just think it gives us the opportunity to get out a little bit quicker than what it is with Maupay. I think Neil Maupay, for me, needs a target man with him to get the best out of him. Then he becomes the link player, the player that drops into the pockets, almost like a number 10 type player. But we'll see whether Sean Dyche changes that. Second thing I'm going to talk about is our home form, which will be imperative to us staying up. Away from home, we've been rubbish for years. We've had one good away record in the last God knows how many years, and that was with Carlo, and it was in the COVID season, so there's no fans. We won 12 away games, which is amazing, but there's no fans in any of the stadiums. In fact, the first away game we played that year with fans in was at the Etihad, and we got beat 5-1 the last game of the season. So our away form isn't very good. we don't have the players to pick teams off, really. You know, we Frank Lampard last season certainly got a win at Leicester, didn't he? A big win at Leicester. He got one at Southampton this season, but that was it, really, with having Anthony Gordon and having Damari Gray wide. And obviously right now we've got Iwobi and McNeil who aren't exactly... I mean, Alex Iwobi's full of running. McNeil works hard. They're not lightning counter-attacking players. And then obviously we've got Maupay through the middle, who isn't. So we do have to not concentrate, because obviously away from home you've got to just be tight and make sure the structure's right, and then take your opportunities when they come. But at home, that's where for me all our points will come. If we're going to stay, we've got home games we've got Villa, Brentford, Fulham, Newcastle, Manchester City, Tottenham, Bournemouth, all to come at Goodison. There's points there. There's no doubt there is points there. We need 5 wins. Now, okay, you could look and go, well, Spurs, Newcastle and City, you can write them off. I mean, you can't, because we've just beat Arsenal who were top, so you can never write any game off, but say, like, they're tough games. But obviously Villa's tough, and Brentford's tough, and Bournemouth will be tough, and, you know, so we can't hand-pick games. We've just got to make sure that when we play at Goodison, the crowd are up for it. It was flat at times today, but then obviously there was other times when they really did kick the team on. And once we scored, they made sure that they kept going. We've got to give the crowd something to respond to, something to be excited by, something to stay involved in the game. Everton don't do that enough. But home is where the points will be. And then away from home, we've got to go and try Nottingham Forest, which will be tricky. We've still got to go to Wolves. We've got to go to Crystal Palace. So, you know, there is places where we can go. Leicester, who are in trouble still. They're not out the woods. There's points to be had on the road. Maybe some of those points will be draws. That's fine if we're winning our home games. And that really will probably be the plan that Sean Dyche tries to implement. Is, you know, go and try and be difficult to beat away from home. And then if we have the opportunity, or we can get in front of one of those games against certainly teams that are around us, try to hold on and nick something. But home will be where the points will come for me. And if that's the case, then, you know, we'll give ourselves a really good opportunity. Another big game next Saturday now, Aston Villa at home, represents a good opportunity to win. They'll be really dangerous. Watkins, Coutinho, Leon Bailey, people like that. Buendia, we've got lots of players who are skillful and have got ability, and they were quick, and we'll have to have our wits about us. It'll be a really tough game. But no game's going to be easy now, and the running is what it is. It's a scrap. It's a bitter scrap right to the end, and that's what we have to do. That's what we've got to go with. Third thing we want to talk about, just very briefly, because I haven't really got a third today, will be the importance of getting the squad players back, the importance of getting players back like Nathan Patterson and James Garner. They both played. Patterson done 64 minutes last night, and Garner done another 10 on top of that. I think he done 70, 71, 72. It's very, very important to get those players back. Obviously, Dominic Calvert-Lewin spoke about before. It's massively important to have him back. We need the bench to be as strong as it possibly can be. Having Patterson and Garner available. Obviously, we've not really seen much of James Garner. He's slightly different profile to what we have in midfield. Obviously, right now, Sean Dyche is preferring the midfield three of Decore, Onana and Garner. Now, obviously, Amadou Onana's gone off today. Hopefully, that's nothing too serious. I've not heard anything at the moment on that one. Tom Davies came on, but obviously there's an opportunity for James Garner. Like I said, he will be the new player, like a new player, because we haven't seen him, so he really will be like a new player. We've not seen much of him, so he could make an impact, giving us something a little bit different in midfield. And obviously we know that when Nathan Patterson's on it, you know, Seamus Coleman, I've just given man of the match, he's just scored the winner today, which is tremendous. But it's good to have Patterson back to full fitness as well. We've seen him when he's at his best. I mean, he started the season really strongly in the side, and we were all gutted when he got injured, and then he come back and obviously picked up another injury. He needs to stay fit and get himself in the team and get himself on a run of games and giving us, showing us what he brings. Because the youthful exuberance, the up and down, the tackles, the power of him, he's no slouch either. That'll make a big difference to us, even if it's just off the bench at the moment for Seamus Coleman or whatever. We need to have as many players of a good level fit now for the final 15 games. It was good that Sean Dyche and Ian Woan and Steve Stone were at Southport to watch Everton under 21s play. Obviously Stanley Mills scored in that game, he's been involved. Isaac Price has been in the squads this season, he was playing as well. And obviously the likes of Reece Welch was there as well. So, we're going to need these lads, we're going to need as many of these fit as possible, and the better your options off the bench, that can make a big difference to us. 15 games to go, 5 wins for me is what we need, and having the best players available that you've got in your squad to do it gives you the best chance. So good to see those people back. Right, that is it from me. I've bored you long enough. Go and have a great weekend. If you're an Evertonian, enjoy it. It's not often we win 2 Saturdays out of the last 3 with a clean sheet. So go and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and have a great one. See you later. Thanks for watching. See you.